welcome, or welcome back, I guess. I've been watching a lot of Degrassi deep dive videos lately, and I'm gonna leave the three that inspired this one down below because I wanna make a ranking of all the Degrassi love triangles. Now, I'm gonna have to start small because despite this being a kids' show, it has so many couples, so much romance, so many relationships. So, first it's gonna be season 1 through 7, but I think I'm gonna keep adding them on this tier list as well because I don't wanna make another one. So, bear with me. Okay, so first we have the Ashley-Jimmy and Sean love triangle. This happened on the first season, actually, in the finale of season 1, and it continued until the first episode of season 2. This, to me, did not really make sense. I don't really know if it should be in really or what the fuck. I think it's gonna be in really because this just didn't make sense. It happened out of nowhere. It was because apparently, I'm gonna give a little bit of summary in case you don't remember. Ashley was going out with Jimmy in the first season. They were a solid couple. I think they had been dating before the show even started. And then they throw a party on the finale episode. The kids decide to try some not so legal candy, and Ashley decides to try it because she feels pressure. She feels pressured because Paige has been telling her that she's boring and she wants to try something different. Sean was dating Emma around season 1 and they broke up. He tried to talk to her on that episode and Emma blew him off, so he was crying. Ashley tried to comfort him, and that's when it happened. Jimmy walked in on them right at that second, and it blew up. On the second season, I think she apologized and they were gonna get back together, but then she decided to go on a movie date with Sean, and then she blew him off because everybody found out and then they were all against her. This literally only lasted 2 episodes, technically. And everybody hated it. I don't know. I just don't feel anything in particular about it right now. But to me, it doesn't make sense for any of the characters for this to have happened. Truly. I guess the aftermath, what happened later, makes sense. But this, in the first place, what? So maybe it should be here, actually. I think this is gonna work. This is gonna be where I'm gonna put it. Maybe I change it. You know? To be determined yet. Okay, then we have, I think, the most infamous or popular love triangle, which is the Manny, Craig, and Ashley. And I know people hate it, but I love it. Going through this was not fun. I was so annoyed when this happened, but let me tell you the drama. Chef's kiss. There's something about Manny and Craig's dynamic that I hate so much, but this was the first love triangle that I was like, you know what? I'm into it. And it made sense, you know, this lasted for seasons. It started, I think it was season 2, with Manny. Things didn't work out with Craig because she was very young at the time and Craig wanted something a little bit more mature. One of the funniest lines, I think, is him saying that she reminds him of his sister, which is actually her sister in real life, Angela. I forgot her name in real life, but whatever. So yes, this is going to be on the first row. I dig it. I really dig it a lot. I think it brought so much. Like, this is iconic. I'm sorry. It has to be there. It can't be in any other place. Now we have one of the most annoying love triangles to exist. I know because nobody liked Ellie. And oof, I do not really know where to place it. I think here, to be honest. Maybe it's questionable. I don't know. Listen, Craig and Manny brought the drama. They knew what they were doing with these two characters. They really did. Ellie, I did really like Ellie in the beginning, but in this love triangle, it was like, girl, you're so annoying. Please stop. I know she was upset. Actually, I don't know what the deal is with this man. Why was everybody after him? It does not make sense. What did he have? Like, I'm sorry. Excuse me? But yes, I think this is a place where I'm gonna have it. This started in season 5 and ended in season 6. And these two were messing. Ellie, I swear, Ellie was just annoying in this. It's the fact that, yes, she was told multiple times, like, he treats you like crap. And you go back to him. And the same with Manny. He treats everyone horrible. So yes, this is going here because it makes sense for all of them, actually. I don't know if it should be questionable. No, because it's gonna be here. Also, is the fact that this dude became a cockhead and then tried to blame it on her, and she was the one who helped him. This was so messy, and I don't really know if it was in a good way. oh my god, then we have another Craig one. I swear, this man was with everyone. This one, I don't know if I should put it on I'll allow it or questionable. I think it's gonna be questionable. If I'm not mistaken, they were both 12 at the time. I think they were 7th graders. I think they were in 7th grade, and this was the start of Manny and Craig. Okay, so this started in season 2, episode 1, when Craig was introduced. He was in 9th grade at the time. Both of the girls liked him. The only one that knew him was Emma because she babysat his sister, Angela, and he talked to them. They thought Craig liked Emma first. So after like 2 or 3 episodes, they went to a dance. The girls tried to sneak into the dance and Craig helped them, and they were waiting for Craig to invite Emma to dance, and he invited Manny. It wasn't that big of a deal, to be honest. Both of them were the 3 of them were very young. It was not serious. Nothing really developed that much into it, especially because, as I talked over here, things didn't last between Manny and Craig after this. But I did really like it now that I think about it, because it showed that things didn't have to be so serious. Like, Emma gave Manny her blessing, and she was like, yeah, go ahead, dance with him. And I really like how they show the dynamic between the friendships, because a lot of the times if you have a good relationship or a good friendship with someone, you won't fight over a romantic interest. You will be like, okay, fine, he doesn't like me, he likes you, okay, whatever. So I do really like that. It's gonna leave it here. I don't know if maybe I should move it to I'll allow it, but maybe questionable because they were young. Now we have one of the most. This one, I know. This one goes here. I already know. I don't have to give it much thought to this. This is the Damian, Liberty, and Emma love triangle that happened literally at the end of season 7, which had no reason to happen. I swear. Why did they do this? I don't know. Don't ask me. Ask them, and they won't even be able to explain it to you. Everything was good. Like, after all that we went through the past 7 seasons, this was not necessary. I swear they just tried to create drama on the last few episodes because they didn't know what else to do, and this was the least serious thing they could come up with because it meant nothing. Basically, Damian, which I don't even remember about this character, to be honest. Watching back the videos, he appeared in so many scenes, and I don't even remember anything about him. I was so taken back when they mentioned him dating Emma and the love triangle with Liberty. I was like, wait, what? Who is this man? We don't know. Don't ask me what his plot lines were. I have no idea. But he was dating Emma at the time. I don't remember how that happened. And for some reason, he and Liberty were flirting. He was a very flirtatious guy. And he was flirting with Liberty while dating Emma. But it was like kind of like that casual flirting you do when... Not that it's okay, but that casual flirting you do that is not that serious, like just throwing little comments here and there. That's what he was doing with Liberty. And then they went to prom. But it was like not hidden or secretive. It was like very evident because even Toby invited Liberty out to prom and Damian went to talk to her and she was like, what did you expect me to do? You're taken. That tells you everything, And then prom happened and she and Damian kissed. And then he was literally telling Toby, which was the one. Actually, I have him here. I think we should probably add him here. Oh, actually, this is Toby and Damian. This is the Damian and Emma. This one goes over here too. I think this one makes more sense because Toby liked Liberty and Liberty was not really that interested in Toby. Well, listen, what the heck was Liberty and Toby? This happened after JT's death, which I am not entirely okay with, but fine. I understand grief, so I'll let them. Yeah, this wasn't meant to happen. This, I could see it making more sense. But at the same time, I don't like Damian. I did not like Liberty and Toby. So this goes here. But these are basically the same because Toby invited Liberty out to prom. After JT's death, he came clean that he liked her. And Emma was dating Damian. Damian invited her to prom. And then he, after kissing Liberty, was bragging to Toby about it. And Toby got mad and just let it out for everyone else at the pool to know that these two had hooked up and the mess started. But it got resolved fairly quickly because this happened, I think, in episode 22. And by episode 24, it was resolved, which was the finale of the season. Liberty was the valedictorian. She made a speech and everyone forgave her because she actually did not want anything to do with Damian. Like I said, there was no reason for this to happen. Like, oh my God. Also, apparently in the wiki that I just checked, Toby had a crush on Liberty since season 6 or 5. Like, what? I had no idea about this. I think I must have forgotten that. I just truly, Liberty and JT are like one of the things I remember. Especially, oh my god, season 7 is eclipsed by JT's event. But I did not know that. But still, I find it very weird, and I find this not necessary. Okay, now we have. But this happened on season 6 after they graduated and half of the cast went to college and we followed them through college. Paige was one of the ones that went to a university. I forgot the university she went to. But she went to a university and this guy went to that university too, I think. But she was dating Alex at the time. And for some reason, she wanted to explore a little bit more. Alex allowed her and she started hooking up with Spinner. And then she started hooking up with him, with Jesse. And then it got messy because Spinner actually liked her. But keep in mind, this all happened within the span of one episode. This all happened in episode 16 of season 7 or season 6. So this all happened within the span of one episode where she started hooking up with Spinner. Spinner got feelings. She started hooking up with Jesse. Jesse got feelings. She got feelings for Jesse. They got into a fight and Spinner gave Paige an ultimatum saying you have to break up with him. It's either him or me. And she was like, okay, then I choose him. I don't remember exactly what happened with Jesse. I don't think things worked out. To be honest, I'm gonna leave this really in really because I have no idea what this is, but it makes sense. Like I do find Paige and Spinner's dynamic during that time really cute. Like I did, you know what? It's questionable. I did find it really cute. It's wild to me that this just happened within the span of one episode. But these two were really cute by the time they lasted, and I know they have dated before. I don't remember. Oh yes, they did date. So they were really cute, and I did like the dynamic and the fact that Paige was like constantly all the time like we're just friends with benefits, and he was like, yeah, I get it, and she was like, do you? I don't think you do, and he did not. I just find that so funny. But yes, I dig it. Oof. Now we have a really interesting one. This is the Alex, Paige, and Jay love triangle. I don't know if this one goes here. I really do like these two. I really like the love triangle wasn't that big of a deal. Alex was dating Jay before they broke up, and then she and Paige just kind of happened, I guess. I did really like the fact that they became a couple and whatever. It didn't make sense at the time, but I did really like it. And the fact that she was very strict with Jay, and it only happened, I think it was a kind of a weird thing because Jay wanted to ask her out again, and she was like, no, I'm not interested. And he was just he just wanted to be back with her. And yeah, she was just very upfront about it. And also, yeah, I dig this one too. And now we have another Craig and Ellie love triangle. This one involves Jimmy. I don't know what Marco is here, but this one only involves Jimmy. This is not a square. But oh my god, how do I feel about this? It isn't really. Because no, actually it goes here. Let me explain. These were all, actually, maybe this goes in really. Because, okay, Craig liked Manny and was dating Ashley, and Ellie developed a crush for Craig after Ashley left for London. Ashley broke up with Craig after she went to London through Ellie, and Ellie never told Craig, which is a whole, I'm sorry, that's a whole thing on of itself. Are you kidding me? But yes, Ashley broke up with Craig during the summer after she went to England, and she told Ellie. Ellie was meant to tell Craig, but she didn't. They became very close, and she developed feelings for him. But he was not into her at all. Then Jimmy got feelings for Ellie because they bonded after his shooting or whatever. He started to draw. They bonded over that. They were both very artistic, and he even drew her, which is the reason he was dating Hazel at the time. He was dating Hazel for the majority of the time. Nothing ever happened between these three. Literally nothing. Because Ellie, I think, it took her a long time for Ellie to even say anything to Greg. There's a lot of crossover with this love triangle, this love triangle. There's also another love triangle, which is Jimmy and Hazel and Ellie that I have over here. This one goes here because, hear me out. This one I could make sense because Ellie, it has been established that Ellie likes Craig for a while and she's obsessed with him basically. These two did not even make sense. Jimmy was dating Hazel's best friend, which was Ashley, if I'm not mistaken. They were best friends before, Ashley and Hazel. And Ashley was dating Jimmy, and they broke up. And then these two started dating after, I think, before he ended up in the wheelchair. And then he started to develop feelings for Ellie because of art, and he told her that Ellie inspired him. Actually, this goes here. This goes here. Because we never actually got to experience Hazel and Jimmy's relationship. Nothing. And then you bring Ellie into the mix, and then you break them up, because the reason that they broke up was because Jimmy drew Ellie on a school mural, and Hazel asked him, and he was like, yeah, you know what? I like her. So what the heck is that? No. This was a hate crime. This was literally a hate crime. This didn't have to happen. Like, what the heck? Actually, no. I really did like that it was all unrequited. Nobody ended up happening. But also, it was like so weird. This was a weird one. This one goes here. Also, keep in mind this happened in season 5. It started, I think it was in episode 6, and it lasted through the whole season until episode 19. So yes, no, not a fan of this at all. Also, Hazel and Jimmy broke up around episode 10. So their love triangle was only for only 4 episodes. But this one, it lasted through the whole season because Jimmy was still into Ellie, and Ellie was still into Craig, and Ellie was still into Craig for a long while after that. So they said in the wiki that it ended after Jimmy confessed to Ellie, and nothing happened over that. So I guess technically that's the resolution, but come on. No. Oh god. Now we have this one. This is the JT, Mia, and Liberty love triangle. This what goes here. I don't like it. No, not a fan. Hated it. Hated it. Hated it. Hated it. Why? Why does this have to happen? For context, Mia came on season 6. Liberty, okay, no, I have to talk about this. Liberty and JT were a good couple. They were cute. I liked them. Yes, they were a cute couple. Things did not work out for them because of the baby. Yeah, if you have seen the show, you know what happened. So they broke up after that. And I was like, fine, I guess. So then Mia comes into the school and she has a baby. She has a kid already. She has a daughter. I think she's 15 or 16, but she has a daughter already that's 3 years old. And JT defends her when she's being basically bullied because she's a teen mom. He defends her. She likes him. He started working on a children's TV show. I think it was around the time that he and Liberty were trying to get more money to support the baby and their new family. So he defends Mia. He takes a liking to her. They became friends. He invites her to the show because he finds out her daughter likes him. I think he was doing something at a kids show. I think he sang or something. And he invited them. And then Mia invited JT out. And at first he was like, what? And then he was like, fine. Then they started dating, right? And this was messy. Messy from the start because it was evident that Liberty was not over JT. And it was evident that JT was not over Liberty. And yeah, this did not have to happen. I think they were trying to work things out on their own after what happened with their baby. And how it ended? No. No, I will never forgive them for that. No. I think this was the reason why I made this video because, no. What the... it's the fact that after everything, right? It was evident these two liked each other. It was evident that he was just doing what he thought he needed to do with Mia because she was the one who actually invited him out and showed interest first. Yeah, no. I'm just getting flashbacks at that scene and it's very traumatic for me. I don't want to think about that. It's the fact that he told Obi, I'm gonna get myself a big bowl of oatmeal. Oh my god. No, that line still haunts me. Did not like that at all. It's evident. Also, Liberty acted so weird during this whole thing because JT is actually a good guy. Mia is okay. I have nothing against her, I guess. The only thing I have against her is the fact that she dated JT because JT is for Liberty. I'm sorry. They were meant to be endgame, no matter what anyone says. I'm so pissed. I understand he wanted to go to college, but whatever. I will never forgive that. I think that's one of the hardest character deaths I've experienced on a TV show. Truly, I was not. No, you don't understand. I think I was aware for every other death in every other TV show or movie that I watched except for this one. Or actually, the Spider-Man one was tough too. But I think I was aware that Spider-Man was gonna die. This one, I had no idea. And then it happened and was like, tell me you're kidding. Tell me he's in the hospital. Tell me no. No, you have to be kidding me. Like, what happened? And yeah, they just killed him off. Yeah, she was annoying through the way she acted, the fact that he wanted to help his girlfriend, and every other teen parent that's at the school, because she wasn't the only one. Come on. And Liberty was like, no, we don't need like a babysitting place for. No, like what? Liberty, come on. I thought you were better than that. Oh god. Now we have this man. This dude, I hate him. I hate him. I hate him, and I do not. This one goes here because the Degrassi team, what were you thinking? This dude came into, I think it was season 5. He came new into season 5. He was the son of the new principal that. Oh, actually, I think it was season 4. Because this was after, he came literally after Jimmy got into a wheelchair because his mom was the new principal. The other one got fired. And he filmed Manny topless. And not only that, he shared the video with the whole school. Which, like, this girl went through a lot in high school. Like, oh, Manny, I'm so sorry for you. But he exposed her to the whole school. And then this girl decides to start dating him and keep it behind her friend's back for months, I think. Or at least for weeks. Until the point that when she found out, she tried to spit it into like, oh, it's because I'm so stressed and I don't eat and whatever. Because Manny was going to expose her about her anorexia. And that's the only reason why she told Manny. Like, she was sneaking behind her back for weeks at least with Peter and telling Peter, like, oh, she cannot really know that we're together. And it's like, she didn't put up a fight at all. This dude came up to her and he was like, oh, I should have invited you. Yeah, it was wrong for me to go after Manny. I should have gone after you. Like, excuse me? How are you gonna allow that? How are you gonna accept that from the guy who filmed your best friend and exposed her to the internet? No, I hate this. And I think it's because she liked him first, and then he went after Manny, and Manny was very open to the fact that, like, you should be asking Emma, because okay, let me explain. When they met him, Emma was interested in him, and Manny was pushing Emma into Peter, but Emma was so nervous that she couldn't even speak to him, and he recognized Manny, because Manny came over to help Emma. Then he invited them out. I don't think if it was both of them, but he invited them to a party. He threw a party. He invited them. Manny got wasted. And he filmed her. Exposed her when Manny was like, yeah, you know, I don't want to do any of those things with you. You're a creep and you should have never done that. He got mad and he exposed her. And then he goes after Emma. And she's like, I know you're an ass, but okay. No, I swear, this girl over here had no backbone. The way she just flip-flopped between guys and between, like, values or whatever. She used to be, what is the name of that? She used to be an activist. She used to protest GMO foods and stuff like that, and now she is allowing revenge porn and totally okay with revenge porn because she's dating the guy. No, what is that? Also, important to point out, these two dated for at least a season and a half. This, I think, happened in like 3 episodes, their storyline, but these two dated for at least a season and a half. In what world does it make sense? He does not deserve a redemption arc. I'm sorry, no. Okay, I hope this does not come on the wrong way, but this goes here. This is the first relationship, or, no, because here, it feels personal. It feels personal. Like, why do you do this? No. Like, this is the first love triangle that Marco had. It was with Dylan and Tim. Who is Tim? Tim is not important, okay? Tim just only came to the show for Marco to develop feelings for him and to make Dylan jealous. Tim only came to be in this love triangle, and then after this ended, he was gone. Like, he does not matter. And that's why it goes here. Why? Let me explain. Dylan is Paige's brother. Marco is Paige's friend. They met, I think Dylan was a senior at the time, and Marco was, I don't know if like in freshman, sophomore, I don't remember. But they were both in high school when they met. They developed a friendship because I think they were only the two only gay guys at the school at the time, which is wild. But no, at least in the cast, they were the only 2 gay guys. So they started dating, they hit it off. I don't remember if he was hiding it or not, but then he went to college. And while he was at college, he cheated on Marco, and then he wanted to have an open relationship with Marco. And Marco was like, you know what? No. So they broke up after Marco found out that he was cheating on him either way with other dudes at campus. And after graduation, Marco decides it's time, like he's in college now, and he decides it's time to meet new people and just get over him. So he starts talking to Tim or whatever, and this dude reappears, comes back like a freaking ghost of the past to haunt you. Literally, he comes and he does not leave this poor man alone. Like, Marco has been telling him, like, just leave me alone. I don't want anything to do with you. I do not forgive what you did. And Dylan was like, but you're going to. Because everybody forgives me. Because, like, it's always going to be us. Like, what is that delusion, Dylan? And I wish it didn't happen. I wish it didn't work, but it ended up working. This dude got everything he freaking wanted it, and I hate it. I hate it. I'm sorry for the rant, but it's like, why? Why would you do this? Why? Leave him alone. Leave him have his life. This dude comes, starts bothering him, and does not leave him alone. And he's like, I'm studying. I have so many things to do. I don't have time. And he's like, but do this. But you will. But whatever. And Tim eventually gets fed up because, like, what are you doing hanging out with your ex that still wants you back? Pretty evidently. And Marco was using him, in a way, to make Dylan jealous. So when Tim eventually broke up with Marco and said, I don't want anything to do with you, and Dylan then went and like, you know what, I'm sorry, which like, that does not excuse anything. But Marco took him back. Like, explain in what world does that make sense? Ah, my God. He took him back. He was like, I know you cheated on me. I know you did not respect me enough to not want an open relationship when I told you I did not want one. Forget this dude that is actually really nice and would probably have a healthier relationship than this dude that cheated and then came back and then does not take no for an answer. Oh my God. Also, keep in mind, this only lasted for one episode. All of this happened in one episode. This dude only appeared for one episode just for him to get back with Dylan. So no, I don't accept it. Now we have a weird one. Actually, I just realized there's a few pictures that are missing here, so I'm gonna have to add them later. Because I think, yeah, there's the Perry, Terri, whatever. Anyway, this is Paige, Spinner, and Manny, and this was kind of weird. I'm gonna put this here, questionable. I'm not really that mad at it, it's just, okay, let me explain. This also has a lot of crossover with the Craig and Manny love triangle, because Paige and Spinner were dating. I don't remember how they started dating, but they were dating at the time. I think this was around season 5 or season 6. They were dating, and they threw a car wash, and Manny and Spinner started flirting, and something started happening there. Right? Everybody was telling Paige, like Hazel was telling Paige, and Paige was just like, no, whatever. And it took until Spinner and Craig, because Craig was a little jealous, they were at her job because Paige worked at a movie theater. She worked at a movie theater. I think it was to pay back the car, his car actually, that she crashed after the whole, I think it was Dave incident that happened, her assault. So she was working and he decided to get into a fight with Craig over Manny at her work, which ended up getting her fired. And she was like, why are you fighting with another guy over another girl that is not even your girlfriend? Craig was like, oh, you've always were jealous of Manny and me. And Spinner was like, then you're jealous of Manny and me now, which what you and Manny is there right now? What? So yeah, Paige loved her for that. She was like, yes, no, I'm breaking up with you. So that's the reason why it's unquestionable. It's not an I'll allow it because what the heck is this pairing? But it is unquestionable because I did like her reaction to it. And Manny ended up breaking up with Spinner either way because of what happened to Jimmy. She found out. So it did not really make sense, but whatever. I did really like Paige's standing up her ground and be like, I don't deserve this, so whatever, F you. Actually, this happened on season 4 and around 2 episodes it took for this storyline. Which, whatever, still. I think, yeah, she was working to pay off his car, which makes this so much worse. Oh my God. Then we have this one, which it does not show, but this is actually the J.T, Toby, and Emma. Okay, so this is the Sean, Emma, and Toby love triangle, which happened in season 1. Toby, he liked Emma since episode 1, and she didn't really like him. She ended up dating Sean. They broke up literally on the first season as well, and she was heartbroken. And Toby was like, you know what, forget it. I'm just gonna be a friend to you. I'm gonna help you out. It works better this way. Because he knew she was not interested in him. Like, the dude was pining after her, and I used to find it so annoying because it's like, dude, get a hint, she's not into you. But I do really like how semi-respectful he was, and he realized pretty soon, and he was like, he accepted it truly. He was like, yeah, she's not into me, whatever, fine. I'm just gonna be there for her. And I do really like that. So yes, I dig it. It's cute that it happened in season 1. It's one of the first love triangles that happened. It was with kids and it was truly dealt with tremendously. I really did like how they portray that. And like those scenes with the slow music and Emma with her hair flowing, those were hilarious and I really enjoy them. I think about them now and it's like, oh my god, that's cinematic masterpiece right there. Okay, now we have these two, which might as well talk about them together because they have a lot of crossover. Now this started before. We all know Sean and Emma, they were technically the biggest couple. After Sean moved away on season 3 or season 4, she and Jay hooked up. She was feeling very down and she went to the famous quote-unquote ravine and she went down on Jay, managed to get a bracelet, which was, I don't know. That's such a weird system. Like, I'm sorry, what was the whole thing about the bracelets and thing? Like, what kind of cult was that? These two were broken up and she decided to hook up with him. Actually, he had a girlfriend at the time. It is weird that we do not have Alex over here, but he was dating Alex, this one, Paige's girlfriend. And the reason why they broke up was actually her, in a way. It was actually Amy, which was her friend, that also went down on him. She ended up finding out because of the bracelet. Emma, I think, got scotch-free of that scandal, but Manny found out and she did have to go to the hospital because she contracted gonorrhea from this dude, but he didn't find out. Then, when Sean came back into the show, I think it was season 6, she was dating Peter at the time, I think, and he found out. He had moved with his parents, his biological parents, after the Jimmy situation because, you know, that was a very traumatizing thing. Like he saved these people and he was the one who had the gun in his hand. So he was dealing with that. He decided to move back with his biological parents and he and Emma kind of broke up because of that. Now, she ended up hooking up with him at the ravine. Nothing really happened apart from that because then the whole scandal happened. She found out she got gonorrhea and she actually was very mad. She told him like, you gave me a social disease. Like, girl, what? What? But okay, while she was dating him, he came back and he was trying to win her back or whatever. He got jealous. Oh my god, he framed him. He framed Sean by putting drugs in his locker and then calling the police. And Sean went to juvie and she was like, no, I don't care about you. I cannot care. I don't love you anymore. This girl said that. I swear, Emma sometimes. And then she was like, wait, no, hold on a minute, because this dude was like, you know, Sean needs you or whatever. And then Manny was like, how did he get that mask into your locker? And she was like, oh my god, Peter did it. Of course, Peter framed him. So she decided to break up with Peter. And that's how this ended. Like, she broke up with Peter not because he exposed her best friend nude. She broke up with him because he framed her ex, which is still messed up in its own way, but like, girl, what are your priorities? Emma, I swear, listen, I really do like Emma. No, I don't. Actually, no, I don't. I hated her. She was annoying and she flip-flopped so much and she was not a good friend to Manny or to anyone really. Like, so this one goes over here. Also, it is so funny that this dude, when he found out, like, keep in mind, this happened, I think it was after he had been gone for so long. This happened. And then he found out when he came back and he was like, you hooked up with my best friend? I cannot believe you. You were... No, what? And he was calling her all sorts of names. He couldn't get over the fact that she went down on a guy when they weren't even dating because he left for 2 years. But it's okay. It's okay. I don't want to... Yeah. This pisses me off. This show, like, why are the writers like this? This one goes over here. And this one, I really did like the drama. Not gonna lie. I'm gonna leave it here, but because I really did enjoy the drama and Emma being a messy little teen, like entering her slutty era. I do appreciate that. And oh my god, I remember this girl went topless for a protest. And now that I remember that, it is hilarious. You know what? I shouldn't be. No, I should give her more grace. She's sort of cool. And then we have this one that happened in season 8, but now I have to place some other. Give me a second. Okay, now we have Spinner, Paige, and Darcy. This was an interesting pairing. I don't really know how to feel about this, you know, because I don't really remember Darcy and Spinner either way. So, but this happened. Actually, let me put this here. I'll explain. This happened in season 5. Spinner and Paige had broken up at the time. Spinner was an outcast. Everybody hated him for what happened with Jimmy. And at the beginning of season 5, Darcy, if I'm not mistaken, is a new student, and she takes pity on Spinner. They develop a friendship. She invites him to her Bible club, or no, it's not a Bible club. It has another name, but she invites him to a club. I think it's like the Born Again Christians Club. I don't remember. But he turns into a born again Christian. He becomes a born again Christian, and because Darcy is very religious, and they start dating. At first, I was not into it. Then it was very cute. But then, here comes the kicker. He did not tell her that he had lost his V card with Manny, which like, what? What? Manny? Out of all the friends, Manny? I guess it makes sense because Paige, he lost it with Manny, and Darcy was under the impression that he was a virgin because he told her he was. He lied. And then when she found out, she was like, excuse me, Manny? She got very mad and she broke up with him. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, he and Paige developed some sort of friend because she came back and they started talking. Actually, let me check that up. He and Darcy broke up after she found out about Manny and Spinner hooking up when they were together literally like a year ago before he knew her, but whatever. But she was mad because he did lie. I understand that. He was not honest about it. So when she found out he lost his V card, she broke up with him, and he was at the dot talking to Paige. Things became very friendly. They went back to his apartment and they started talking about things that had happened, and things, went a lot farther than they had to. And then Darcy decided to get back together with him, and he was like, okay, fine, whatever. But then something else happened with Paige, and he texted Marco. I don't know why he did that. He texted Marco asking for advice because he had hooked up with Paige again. And then Darcy saw the messages. And she was like, then I'm breaking up with you. What the heck? Which, I don't know. I don't know about this. Truly, this goes here because what the heck? What was this? She broke up with him. This literally lasted. This was the reason they broke up. And I get it, but Spinner, what was that? Oh my god. Sometimes the characters do not make sense. And then we have this one. I think this one goes here. This is the Terri, Spinner, and Paige love triangle that happened literally on season 1. And my girl Terri was done so dirty. She was done so dirty on this show. Starting with season 1, she liked Spinner, and Paige knew, and Paige was a little bit of an ass. When she started, she was annoying. She was a girl that, Paige was annoying. She was a biatch. She was. I don't know how else to explain it. She knew Terri liked Spinner. And Spinner invited Terri out to prom or to one of the dances that they had, it's so interesting that look at their dress to the dance. This was in 2001. Look how they dressed to a dance compared to now. Because now if you watch the school dances now, they are dressed from top to bottom, okay? They are dressed to the T. They used to dress so casual to go to places before. I love that. But yes, Spinner invited Terri out to the homecoming, I guess is what it's called. And Paige, being the little evil witch that she is, or she was, because she really was, she decided to get Terri drunk. The girl couldn't even walk, and she took her to the party like that, and she was so out of it that I think she passed out or something, and Spinner was not into that. At the next, literally the next day, I don't remember exactly what happened I should. You know what? It's one of the first episodes, so I'm probably going to rewatch it soon, but I don't exactly remember what happened. I just remember that Paige got Terri drunk to the point that Terri couldn't even walk and was breaking glasses and whatever. And Spinner realized that at the party that Terri couldn't even walk, couldn't even dance, couldn't even stand upright. And by the next day, Paige was telling her, Spinner is not going to need your notes anymore, which was the reason that she and Spinner were close, Terri and Spinner, because Terri was giving him her notes, which what kind of person gives another person their notes? I mean, I don't know what kind of dynamic it's in Canada, but you think I'm going to give you my notes? Go to class and write them yourself. I'm sorry. No. So yeah, this is questionable, but this was, I think, the first one. This happened very, very, very early on, and it's the reason that Paige and Spinner were together, and I think it cemented each of these characters' personality. So as much as I don't want to put it in I'll allow it because Terri was done so dirty, and Paige, why? She was your friend, come on. As much as I did not like that, I did like that it cemented each of these characters' personalities so well. Terri being so nice and so naive when it comes to relationships and friendships and all of that. Spinner shows Paige because Terri was a mess that day. And he was like, okay, well, Paige is here, so whatever. Ashley, I don't remember what happened with Ashley on that one. I think this is it so far. This is season 1 through season 7. I hope I did not left any love triangle, but this is all so far. It is 18 or like 17. It is 18 or 19 love triangles so far from season 1 to season 7. It's insane. And you can tell all of these people are repeated, like Emma, 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 Emma again, Emma again, Emma again. Craig also, like Craig, this is Craig too, by the way. This is also Craig. I think this is Craig as well. No, this is Ellie. Some of these characters have had such interesting years at Degrassi. Marco at least only has one. And this is the one that you gave him, like, no, I do not accept that. This shouldn't have happened. This, what? Either this, no, none of these ones make sense. And this too, I have my, no, I will never forgive it. No, I won't. These ones are like the more, okay. But these ones, I really, yeah, especially this one. These three. Yeah, that is it for now. Bye. Oh, also, don't subscribe.